Log number one, starting off with a review of different people in the area, different musicians' rigs, guitar and bass. Start off with my practice rig for Comfortably Floyd. Rig log number one. So my main axe for Comfortably Floyd is the Fender Mexican Strat. It's just a basic, standard Mexican Fender Strat, candy apple red. Nothing really done to it at all. It has the vintage style saddle bridges there. 5-way selector, normal. It's actually a 2009 model Fender Strat. This is my main axe for all Floyd songs. The trusty dark side strap here. So yeah, it's basic, it's simple, but it's versatile and it sounds great. And maple fingerboard here. So that's my main axe. So what I'm running that into is my Boss GT10 here. So that's digital processing, budget digital processing that sounds near professional level. Cosm amp modeling. And so what this has in it is essentially a few dozen Boss stomp boxes compact all into one pedal, including expression pedal and control switches. And what that does is it allows me to change multiple effects at one time and multiple parameters at one time instead of trying to tap dance across a bunch of different stomp boxes. Now some people accomplish this with a router and MIDI signaling to change, on and off different stomp boxes, but I find this most convenient way to handle changing patches, specifically in Floyd band, where there's a lot of changes between choruses and verses and different effects that need to be employed and unemployed or turned off at different times. So I'm running that directly from the guitar into the GT10. The signal goes out of the GT10 directly to the Egnater Tweaker 112. Now why I'm doing that instead of running it through the effects loop is because it pushes the signal much more through the front end of the amp. And so that's making the preamp section of the amp work much harder and create much more tone, because those preamp tubes are getting much more saturated with a boosted signal going into the amp before it even hits the EQ or preamp section of the Egnater. So you can see on the tweaker there's several different settings that you can choose. What I use for Pink Floyd primarily is the vintage setting, the British setting obviously, and kind of most notably the David Gilmour type of tone curve is to have your middle scooped out a little bit, you have your treble and bass pretty high, and that gives it kind of his signature mid-scoop tone, but then you run that through the British style amp and it kind of brings those mids back through. So it kind of evens it out and makes a really unique curve to his style of tone. And right here I have everything set to clean because I want the cleanest signal possible for when I do go clean through the GT10, that it doesn't break up too much. So I have it on clean signal, or clean setting, and that gain relatively low. The bass setting at deep, to add just a little bit of more bass and bottom end to this. Since it's only 112, it doesn't kick as much as I'm used to, so I put it on the deep setting. And then here on normal instead of bright, so that I don't get too much of that high-end brilliance or too much high-end that I don't want to hear. So that's pretty much my practice rig for Comfortably Floyd. It's suited me pretty well, throughout the couple months that I've been using it. Specifically, the Egnater is new. I've been using that GT10 for over a year now, and that's been serving me really well. So I know a lot of people consider, digital multi-effects board as being kind of cheating, but for the sake of convenience and what needs to be done in the Floyd setting, or in a lot of other complicated, sound management or changing effects, it really is like the only thing that you can use without having to tap dance all over the place and kind of look like a fool. So that's my practice rig log number one in the books. Thanks, guys.